Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of September 25th, 2019. Giant week this week, especially since it's the last week of the month, but it is huge. So get ready for it. So first up we have Action Comics number 1015. Naomi makes an appearance, and we'll see what that has in store. Naomi finished up with 6 issues. She's most likely coming back for more, but if you want some Naomi, she's in action this week. Next up, we have Batman Curse of the White Knight, number 3. A lot of stuff happened in the first couple issues, but I'm curious to see where Sean Murphy takes it. He's done a really great job with this stuff, and so really solid series, and being the second installment. So, curious to see what we got in store. Next up is a Batman Superman number 2, and yes, that is a villainous-looking Shazam. The Shazam who laughs is what my son said. So I was like, yes, you are correct. So we'll see what happens with Batman and Superman in this issue. Joshua Williamson did a great job with issue 1. And so I'm really excited to see what happens next. Next up is Books of Magic number 12. This will probably be my make or break issue on this series. I have not been super impressed, and this is about I've given it 2 story arcs, and so this one's most likely going to be gone from my pull list. So Books of Magic, I tried, I really did, but I really don't think you're going to see issue 13. Next up is a $1 book from DC, and that's Crisis on Infinite Earths. If you're curious about this and never read it, you can pick the first issue up for $1 right here, this nice fancy $1 version. Or if you want to just dive right into it, this week also they released the Crisis on Infinite Earths Deluxe hardcover, the 35th anniversary edition. It's just a reprinting. There's not too much fancy about it, but it is a nice deluxe hardcover. I have one of my own. Where is it? Right here. This is the version. Previous, so they're releasing a 35th edition. So it's been 35 years. It came out in 1984. So yeah, but Crisis on Infinite Earths, really amazing stuff. If you have not yet read it from DC, you seriously need to. But if you're just curious and you don't want to just commit completely, check out that $1 book. That'll be your best bet. Next up, we have Detective Comics number 1012. Mr. Freeze is hopefully going to make an appearance. He keeps getting teased at the end of the book. So You're the Villain stuff, hopefully going to take off in that book. And I'm really curious to see what happens with Victor Freeze. We haven't really seen him in the comic books lately. And when we do, it's kind of just off at the side. So it's nice to see Mr. Freeze come back for like a main story. Next up, we have Dial H for Hero number 7. It got an extra issue, so I'm curious to see where Dial H goes. I've enjoyed it so far. It's just a really fun book. The art is great because it changes for each new character that's introduced, and it's just a really solid book. It's not something that's like totally amazing, gonna blow your socks off, but it is a decent book, and you should check it out if you're curious. Next up, we have Dr. Mirage number 2. What can I say? Valiant books are just they're good. They're solid books. Dr. Mirage, the first issue was interesting, so I'm really curious to see where we go with issue 2. Next up is Flash number 79. Joshua Williamson, again, just done an amazing job on this title. Flash is just really solid book. Curious to see what happens with, the Still Force and the Sage Force and all of that stuff that's been going on with what Joshua Williamson has been setting up for the entire time he's been writing it. So next up is a totally solid book that everyone needs to check out. It's probably going to be difficult to find earlier issues of it, so you may have to wait till it's finished to get it. But that's Freedom Fighters. This is number 9 of 12. Oh my God, Freedom Fighters is so good. Vendetti just does an amazing job jumping into the Nazi world that the Freedom Fighters comes from. It's just super really good, solid stuff. It's really good. It's one of those under the radar reads that I think everybody should be reading because it's just good. It's a really solid book. Next up is one for my daughter, and that's Frozen, The Hero Within, number 3. This finishes out the series, so hopefully once she starts reading them, she'll enjoy them. Next up is a new Black Label book, and so that means it's big. And that is Harleen number 1. Yes, Harleen number 1. I'm super excited for this because I'm a Harley Quinn buff, or just sucker. So I'm really curious to see what this one entails. It's by Stefan Sejic, really amazing artist. So I'm really curious to see what he has in store with this Black Label title. But yeah, man, it's really a lot of stuff coming down the pipeline for Black Label. So I'm super excited for that. Considering they had Damned, which was okay, but had really just that harsh, Batwang, and then just the font to read it was just and it really took away from what it was. And then they got the Superman one that was just brutal. But like Last Crusade, the Scott Snyder Greg Capullo has been fantastic. So I'm super stoked to see what Harleen is like. So yeah, we'll see. Next up is Justice League Dark number 15, or as the cover says, in Justice League Dark. So we'll see what happens with the magical world in which the Justice League Dark is basically trying to keep all order and stuff. But yeah. Next up is Red Hood Outlaw number 38. Just a really solid book. I've been enjoying it. Red Hood and the Outlaws has statistically kind of just started really strong and then kind of just petered out or just been garbage. But this one's been a really solid run all the way through. Just a good read every month. So yeah, one of those titles, you can't go wrong with them. But if it's something you got to cut, it's something you got to cut. But I like it. Next up, holy crap, is Shazam number 7. Apparently we're finally getting Jeff Johns books back on the shelf. So I'm curious to see what happens in this, because I completely forgot what happened in issue 6. Like, don't know. It's been so long ago, I have no clue. So we'll see. Next up is one for my son, and that's Star Wars Adventures number 26. He's read a few of them and likes them. He does a really good job of organizing them when we get them. So I'm really happy that at least that's something he's learning from it. But he's yet to just kind of dive in and digest a lot of them. But he has read a couple of them and he likes them. So I'm going to keep getting them. Next up is The Terrifics number 20. And yes, that's The Terrifics. It's upside down. Number 20, no misprint, whatever. It's a Bizarro book, so that's why it's upside down. Yeah, Terrifics has been okay. I don't really know if I'm going to keep up with it much longer. I kind of wish it would just finish at 24 and be done. And then I'll just get rid of the 24 issues. But we'll see. Who knows? And finally on my poll list is Wonder Woman number 79. I've been okay with what Wilson's been doing so far. She had a rough start, but she's getting her bearings. So I'm really curious to see where she takes Wonder Woman going forward. So yeah, that's it for what I'm pulled. I did grab a bunch of variant covers this week. The first one was for Batman Curse of the White Knight number 3. This is the Gordon cover. And yes, he's smoking. Ooh, or is he smoking in this one? Yep, he's smoking. So it's classic Gordon with the cigarette. Good times. Next up is the who drew this one? I don't remember who drew this one. But it's the Batman Superman 2 variant cover. So there's that one. I grabbed the Detective Comics 1012 variant. I thought that was a cool Batman. Flash 79. I've just been getting the Flash variant, so I just keep getting them. Harleen, of course, had a variant for the big book there, so that's that one. Curious to see what. Oh man, it's just storage of those is just weird. Next up is Justice League Dark 15. That's Detective Chimp. Yeah, love Detective Chimp, so I had to pick up that cover. Red Hood Outlaw number 38 had a pretty cool cover with Jason Todd on there. Shazam was a fun cover with him playing on a phone for number 7. And of course, the Jenny Friesen variant for Wonder Woman number 79 was fantastic, so I snagged that one up. I did have something on my read list this week, and that is Powers of X 5 is out. We did get our copies of House of X 5 last week on Friday. We were supposed to get it Thursday, so I have read it. It's definitely something that kind of explains a lot with kind of having to do with like characters dying and stuff. But it still hasn't really, House and Powers still hasn't really solidified what's going to take place with the X-Men going forward. And, I'm really excited for what Hickman has planned, but I'm still confused at what exactly that is. And I don't know if this House and Hawks and Pox is what everyone's calling it, it is part of what the 616, or is this a separate 616, or is this just Moira's life over and over, and then we go into the 616 X-Men? I don't know. So curious to see what Hickman has in store, but he's definitely telling a good story, and it has people talking. Like, people haven't been talking about X-Men in a long time, and so that's a really, really solid thing. Now, the books coming out of it, there's probably only 3 you're going to want to get, and those are the recommendations I'm going to give you here, which is X-Men, X-Force, and potentially to get, oh god, what was the other one? I can't remember. Oh, is it New Mutants? Yeah, I think it's New Mutants. Those 3 are the ones I would say to pick up. New Mutants is a little but Hickman's doing X-Men, Benjamin Percy's doing X-Force. Those 2 are going to be solid books. And then Hickman is co-writing with somebody else for the New Mutants. So I would give it a shot to see if you like it. But those are the 3. The other 3, I don't really think are going to see very much print. So yeah, that's just, hey, that, Marvel's trying to put out a bunch to see what sticks. I did get something in last week that was directly shipped to us, and that was the Jim Lee Batman 80 Years t-shirt from Graffiti. We've stopped ordering shirts from Graffiti directly due to the fact that Diamond has a horrible time getting them in stock or getting them to us. So we are going to start just doing it directly through Graffiti. Any of the shirts that I do pick up here and you like, you can get most of them through graffiti.com. So check them, or graffitidesigns.com. Check them out. That's where all the great comic book shirts, I think, come from. It's where most of my closet of shirts is from. If I could get the rest of my clothes at the comic book store, I'd be set. A couple of trades came out. The first one is from Jeff Lemire and Gallery 13, the publisher Gallery 13, and that's Frogcatchers, the hardcover. Jeff Lemire stuff is really cool, really interesting, and I love his art style, especially for these type of books. So I can't wait to dive into Frogcatchers and see if it's something that, or if it lives up to like Underwater Welder and Essex County and all those. Those are really great. Go look at Jeff Lemire's independent stuff that he did when he first started out. It's really, really solid stuff. And then we got something from DC Zoom this week, and that is The Secret Spiral of Swamp Kid. So another like kid book, I'll flip through it for you, like a notebook thing, but it's basically kind of a graphic novel. So I'm really curious to see what this is. I am super behind on my graphic novel reading, so I need to set aside time to get to these. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of media to absorb, all that stuff. So if you're like me, you know it never ends. There was also a special order that came in, and that is the DC portfolio for Frank Cho. I decided to snag this up for the Harley Quinn, because it's mainly Harley Quinn for Frank Cho, because he's been doing the covers for DC. So this is a selection, 20 posters of his stuff. These are nice, kind of solid little portfolios. They did the Art Germ one first, then they did Jim Lee a few weeks ago, and then now they've done Frank Cho. So I got 3 of them. Who knows if they're going to do any more, but if they do some more, I may pick them up, I may not, but definitely be on the lookout for those. If your shop didn't order it, you can have them check previews to see if it's still available, or Diamond to see if it's still available, and they can order you one. Speaking of Diamond and previews, it's that time of the month, and we have issue 373 of previews for October 19. This is for stuff on sale in December 2019. So yes, Doomsday Clock 12 is in here. I have not yet had a chance to look through this previews, but I do like going through it. But if you are ever curious, there's also the Marvel previews. So we have this weird, I don't know, incoming thing. I don't know what that is. But DC, of course, has the scary Frank Miller thing, that the Golden Child thing that's coming out, which I am not really excited for at all. Frank Miller had his time and it's gone. So if anything you want to order that's coming out, check here. You can go on to, you can ask your local shop should have a copy of this, and he should let you look through it, because that's how they order stuff and get money. Or you can have them order it for you and you can buy it yourself. So that's it for this week's pull list. double checking everything. Yep, we're good. So thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. You can listen to me on the Comics Conspiracy podcast. We just finished recording episode 420. We had a listener on, Jimmy from Philadelphia. So thanks, Jimmy, for coming out and to the West Coast and spending a little bit of your vacation coming down and hanging out with us at the shop. So good times with you on the podcast. Listen to the episode. There's a link in the description below for that. You'll get Jimmy's Secret Origin. We answer a whole bunch of listener questions, and we talk around House of X and Powers of X about what we understand and don't understand. And what I get is basically we don't understand anything. So check it out. Link in the description below. You can help me and my fellow conspirators out through Patreon at www.patreon.com/comicsconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting fees, getting food sometimes, and yes, getting products. So thank you very much to all of our backers. It helps out immensely, especially since this stuff gets to be pricey at times. So I appreciate everything you guys do, and so on and so forth. You can help me out a little more directly if you buy anything through any of the Amazon links on here or on my website, conspiratorbrock.com. If you purchase through any of those, I do get a cut of it, even if it's not something that you clicked on that you bought. If you keep searching for something under there, I will get a cut of it. So thank you to everybody who takes the time to do that. It helps out a little bit here and there. Any of the digital stuff that is linked, it doesn't necessarily give me a fee, but it's still it's just such a habit for me to put that in there. So I don't know if I'm going to switch that up and just not do it, but we'll see. But you can click on those and that'll take you to Kindle Comixology stuff as well. So yeah. You can also help me out through eBay. I have my eBay page up. There's a link in the description below. I'm trying to get rid of stuff. I need to do another round of purging. I'm starting to get a little full on stuff, but with the move and stuff like that, I'm still shifting stuff around and getting stuff organized. So bear with me on that. But yeah, I don't know what else. Oh yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. My handle's @BrockSager. You can just leave comments actually down in the comment section below. That's great too. Let me know what you're getting this week. If you have any questions, leave it all there. Be nice in the comments because the internet's a crappy place. So let's not make this little area of it crappy or crappy at all. I don't want that garbage here. So thanks for watching. And again, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And as usual, I'll see you next week.